get up here as proximal on the tibia as I can. It's basically, I'm doing the rotation, either internally or externally. Okay?
Questions on it?
Thankfully, you don't find
Okay, so medial patella. You're going to raise the leg, cup the patella with the superior hand, and the idea is to, if it's medial, you want to pull it laterally. So you're going to have to cup it and then pull it laterally. You may need to rock the leg a little bit, move the leg around a little bit to feel it, to get it in the right spot. And then when you're ready, it's a medial to lateral pull. Any question on those?
That's the next one.
The next one is medial lateral calcaneus. So then you can swing around. You can see how he just had the leg up in the air. You can swing around and check for a medial and lateral calcaneus. That would be a medial push. You can see how kind of hard, medial push.
Okay.
You see how it's hard for him to get his elbow down far enough to keep his forearm parallel to the ground. So you can also pull that, and you can see that's kind of much easier for the doctor to get in the correct position to pull. He's stabilizing below, so he doesn't move that lower leg, and it's a pull medial to lateral. Or in this case, it's a lateral calcaneus, and the thrust is from lateral to medial.
Watch your foot, because you got it over here. Pick that leg up, move your foot before you let it down. He'll nail you.
I think you can show. There's a group that'll show those this afternoon, right?
What?
The medial lateral one. How to get
yeah.
and all that.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions on those? Remember, the rear limb's optional.
And everything from the hop down is just like the front leg as far as mobilization of that lock and pasterns.
You can see the effect that just showing you has had on Dr. Anders. That's one horse. What if you had to do 10 or 20 of those a day in this heat?
Extremities are what exhaust you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Any questions?
Do y'all think that you're going to do horses? How many of y'all think that? Yeah? How many of you think you're going to do rear limbs on horses? Okay, I would encourage you, if you're going to do horses, rear limbs are important, so learn the proper way to do it so you don't get hurt. I've only been kicked once in my career, and it's been doing a rear limb, but I still do them to this day because they're so important. If you've got an external femur or, a calcaneus, posterior calcaneus, you need to get those cleared so that the horse will function well. Otherwise, they're going to continue to show issues. And so I would encourage you to learn how to do it. This is a good setting to do that. But please, more than any place else on the horse, be very, very careful when you're dealing with hind limb, because that is very dangerous stuff. And especially when they're painful, they will come after you with a nice firm kick. So,
And as you guys come around to my station this afternoon, those of you who want to see and learn setups on the rear leg, let me know. And Joe, you want to do it too, or?
She's got to do motion. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, just ask me and I'll show you how.
Yep.
We'll go through them, okay?
Yep, we got plenty of time.
Yeah. If you guys have time at Joe's station, ask him. If not, just ask me when you come around my station. We'll go over them.
Now there are horses that I will not do rear legs on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bet.
You have to pick your patients. I'm not going to, a 2-year-old that's barely been handled and hardly picks up his front legs is not the candidate for you learning or attempting rear leg adjustments. When I was pregnant, I stopped doing extremities altogether at around 32 weeks, probably a little bit sooner than that. But I mean, I would only do, and then I started only doing horses that I completely trusted because getting on a bail was very difficult. So you've got to assess your personal comfort level and the horse's personality. If they're back legs, and I wouldn't, don't put yourself in
there's
a
some in
situation.
this barn that I wouldn't really want to climb under.
Right.
And do like that, so.
Yeah, there even been times when I was doing it more, but used to wrestle too. You call it sinking legs. You sink a leg in there and pick that leg up. And the owner's looking at you like, have you gone mad?
Yeah.
You know, like, you really gonna put your leg in there like that?
Yeah, you can judge the owner's reaction and you're like, okay, we're just gonna skip that.
Do you charge extra for that?
Yes,
Yes, I do.
yes, I do.
Any questions on any of this, guys?
Do y'all have any real world questions on this?
Well, I'll see anything again.
Does everybody just want to eat lunch?
Crunchy does.
He's ready to go to sleep. Crunchy needs his nap.
Oh, perfect.
Do any of you guys find any problems with the cannon
Sorry,
Cannon bone?
what about it?
Do you have any, like, investments or anything particularly with wrong with it?
Bone itself, not really.
No.
They're doing the both ends of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both ends, but not the bone itself.
If anybody, if that's, if
You're finding any
if that
mobility
question is
discipline,
asked,
you
go ahead.
need to
And you
assess
just
them.
tell them, there's really no-
You need to take x-rays or ultrasound those ligaments up top.
Outside of chiropractic.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah, that's not a chiropractic issue.
There's a traction of the pastern. That's not a bad idea. Traction of the pastern, very good idea. You cannot assume that the one and two joints are, the two joints there are not fixed. Sometimes it's too late to do it when you already got CJD.
Yeah, if you got
It's
some,
not a bad idea during your exam to check it.
You guys know too, should have to tell you this, but, well, you know when you do some of that motion, especially down in the fetlock, and the sesamoids and the pastern, that you want to compare side to side. So if I'm going to assess a fetlock and I go to bend it and that's all I get, and I go, oh man, that's not a real heck of a lot. But I go on the other side and I get the same thing on the other side, then I'm thinking, you know, maybe it's not abnormal, maybe there's some type of degenerative arthritic changes here that's all you're going to get on both sides. But if I pick one up and I check it and I've got, you know, that much, and I go to the other side and all I get is that, then I know. Same way with the pastern. If I take it and wiggle it, you didn't have to work on it a lot there, but you know, I'm going to compare it to the other side and see what that looks like. So always compare.
When you're out by yourself, you guys ever do tibia?
And that's gonna be hard.
I don't think I've ever done a tibia in my career.
I never have either.
I don't do it. I do a lot of stifles. I do a lot of hocks. I do a lot of sesamoids, especially front sesamoids on performance horses on jumpers. And that's a really good joint to educate your owners, because they can feel, I can pick up a sesamoid that's really locked up and they will have crepitus, they'll feel like you've got little sand in there when you start moving it around, and I'll tell my owner to come here and put their hand over it, and I'll move the joint and I'll say, you feel all of that in there? That sign that this sesamoid, this little bone embedded in this tendon, is not moving correctly as it's designed. So we're just going to fix that. You do some motion palpation, you do some small thrusts on it. As soon as that's moving clear, you bring them back over there and they go, and now suddenly you're the smartest chiropractor they've ever had in their barn and you're doing all their horses, right? Because they got to experience that you actually made a physical change in their animal. So anytime you have those opportunities, take them, use them for practice building.
I'm just sitting here thinking about stuff too. I told you to compare. I can't tell you how many times the client will bring the horse in and go, what's going on with your horse? Well, he's off on the right front. So I go, okay. So I'll come over and I'll pick this leg up and they go, no doc,
Right
it's the
front.
other side. No, I know that. I want to look at the normal side first. Or quote unquote normal side.
If you run across stifles, yes, you can have tibias associated, so you know. These horses walk up toe out on you, or one walks toe out. You got to check, you know. Remember the direction of subluxation? Remember increasing it, it would cause more pain? That's how you do it, just slightly externally rotate it. See? As long as you clear the stifle, just a little bit of this, you know, you got to check everything, of course, but once you got everything cleared, if you externally rotate that tibia like that, you know, if it causes pain, you want to check it. That's just during the exam.
And stifles will get you kicked too. Those are very tender when they're out.
Yeah.
And they will pull that foot out of your hands quicker than you know it's gone.
Yeah.
So stifles are very tender. Be careful when adjusting those.
You're going to get toe out, but maybe it's confirmational, maybe it's not. Then you got to decide. That's part of the exam I was telling you about yesterday. The extremity.
Can you show us like the stifle and hop adjustment? So it's, technically all we have is like the tibia.
I can't show you mine because
Oh, okay.
I was telling Dr. Abby, I don't do manual stifles anymore. I've got an activator, a large animal instrument, and I do all my stifles with an instrument because my very first year had a real bad experience. I got kicked in the stifle by a horse with a stifle. So that was it for me. I was like, this is too dangerous. They're really tender when they're out. And so what I actually do is I'll take a horse like this. If his stifle is out on this side, I'll stand on the side of the weight-bearing leg. I'll get him non-weight bearing here. I'll come up with my instrument and do a medial to lateral thrust on the stifle. I've not gotten injured since. And I do stifles on a lot of horses. So
Are you at the top of the tibia, basically?
I'm essentially on the medial border of the patella.
Oh, I'm still.
Just like he did the patella move.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like, that's basically it.
Yeah, patellas are really common.
But hey,
What about the actual stifle?
Activator doesn't make those anymore. So if you're
That's
interested in having an instrument to do some of this stuff with, email me and I will forward those to Activator. And if they see the desire and the need in the animal adjusting world, I can probably convince them to start making them again and to start making this a better instrument,
I
honestly.
thought last quarter at
It's-
Life he came to talk, and I thought they were developing a new one.
They are
I thought there was one in the making.
supposedly,
Is that true?
Let's just
But
say,
it's-
if you guys email me and they see the vast amount of chiropractors who are looking for these tools, I can probably get them to follow through on that commitment. But yeah, as of now, they're not making it.
Okay.
There's, they'll put money where they see investment opportunity.
right.
So I don't know what they would charge for the ones they make now. Like I said, they ran out of the old ones. They haven't made them in, I don't know, 10 years. So they had old stock laying around. And so they would have to make new ones to get them out on the market again.
Done with this?
It's called the Activetter.
You guys do on like base ride or paddling in the back? I see a lot of that.
Okay, yeah, of course. I think we're done.
Anybody else?